Alright, guys. So, I'm bringing back the no warden dragons here. I made a couple of tweaks from last time. So, I've been trying out that same army that I was using, which was a. It's not that it was a bad army, but it's an army that I created myself in like 2 minutes, right? So, it was obviously going to be not very optimized. What I did with that army was essentially I just created the Sui portion of it, and then whatever space I had left over, I just filled it in with dragons. So there was no real thought to how I was making the army. I just filled it up. So now I've been testing it a little bit, and I've been consistently time failing. So at the very least, it's strong enough to crush a lot of bases, but it just time fails. So I think the easiest way to solve that is just take away a couple of dragons, because when you use this army, there's not much base left over. So what happens with your dragons is they end up clumping a lot. So when you have a lot of dragons on one building, the DPS is a bit wasted because you didn't need that many dragons to begin with, and a couple of dragons are enough. Like 2, 3 dragons on one building is perfectly fine, but if you have 5 dragons on one building, that's a lot of DPS you're gonna lose, and then that's a lot more time you're wasting overall the attack. So I dropped 3 dragons for about 12 super barbs, which are supposed to be useful in either funneling my dragons a little more or just cleaning up those stray buildings that stay on the side. And so for this, I'm actually going to take away 2 right now. I just realized it's really good to have at least 1 flying troop, because sometimes you have those defenses that just get stuck behind walls, and then my super barbs, they're not going to be able to do anything. They're going to waste a bunch of time hitting walls, right? So I'm going to take at least 1 baby dragon in here, and let's go ahead and see if we can fix the time issue here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the hero walk as I normally would. And so we have the CC here, so I am going to want to start from the right side. And then we have the monolith on this section, so I don't really want to put my king there. So I'll go in from this side, so my king can be somewhere here. And then so I'll go ahead and put my RC on this side. And then one thing we're going to want to do also is we're going to want to be fast. So as soon as we place our queen and king down, I am going to want to put the recalled RC back down, because otherwise it wastes time just sitting there waiting for the RC or for the heroes to get stuff done when they would have already done so much work by the time you decide to. So here we lost the fox, which doesn't really matter because the point of this attack isn't to do stuff with the fox. It's to, because you use the rocket spear after you put the RC back down, the fox ends up dying regardless. So it doesn't even matter. So the furnace does come out. And then, like I said, I am going to put the RC back down right away. I'm going to put a couple more super bars just to help out there. So that furnace is dying. Okay, now I'm going to start my RC walk here. And then my king should walk over here. He's a bit unfortunate. He's going to waste a lot of time on that wall, but I think it's worth holding off his ability until he breaks through the wall there. Okay. And then so let's go here. I'm going to go from this side here. And I'm going to do some cleanup here, like so. And then we can use our ability pretty quickly because we don't have the henchmen. So we don't really care about the recovery too much here. And then so you see here we have flying. I mean, we have a ground expo there, so the baby dragon actually comes in to help really well with that. And of course, the baby dragon AI is always so funny to me because it's just... Yeah, the baby dragon AI is always really funny because it always manages to get itself in the worst places. So yeah, this one's gonna be very close. And see here, if I had more ground or air troops here, it would have been a bit quicker, but it still worked.